Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Good morning and welcome back. It is a cold morning here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. I can tell you that. We actually have had snow flurries already this morning. So yeah, it's cold. Cold for us anyways. So I got a Winnebago Adventure in there. The gentleman just wants a brand new swap out done. And I've got a 99 Prevost H3 that's in here for me to look at the basement airs on this one. Let me turn the camera around and show you what we got. So this one was built out by Country Coach. And as you can see, this is unlike anything I have ever seen. So, not quite sure what we're gonna do on this one just as of yet. But definitely not something I have ever seen before. So I'm going to dive into this real quick and just see what is going on or what's not going on. So yeah, that's a first for me. I've never seen anything like that. So going to do some diving into that and some phone calls. But let's go back here. I'll show you what Mr. Lewis has got. Okay, so I've got the covers off this. You can kind of see that this is it is a split unit. So compressor's outdoor coil right here, pulls air in right there, rejects it out the fan out the bottom right there. And then this is your indoor coil, evap coil, that's pushing the cold air in here. And then they have added a radiator in there and those lines evidently are either coming from the engine or from the Webasto heat. So yeah, this is again not something I have ever seen, but yeah, we're gonna have to have a little bit of a conversation with the customer on this one. All right, next project in the shop is this Winnebago Sonova. Now this one initially came in with Schwintek slide out problems. Now you can see this is pretty much a full wall slide, but the slides had gone out on this thing. And so we had to get some new ones ordered. Now the problem that comes into play on this is Lippert doesn't actually build that slide out system like that. So we had to call Winnebago. Winnebago had to get a idea what the new replacement was for suggestions for us so that they could get the correct new slide system for this, because this is the new updated slide system. So we've been waiting on this for probably a month, waiting on Lippert to get that built. But that is the new system. They've got it installed and just doing the sealant work on it now and buttoning it up. So there's the new, you can see, this is the new style. It's got the track on the top. Here's the old style that came out of this. And this one has the track on the bottom. Let's see what it was doing. So they've updated this system to that newer style. So they've got the new plywood in up here on the roof, getting everything taped off and ready. But be ready for some material here very shortly. Here's the old 6535 that came out of this unit. Not really sure what's wrong with it. The gentleman really didn't even want me to try to work on it. He just wanted to do a complete replacement. So we just went in with the brand new unit, and Mr. Lewis is getting it wired up now. So we had a little, this is actually an old 8940-3 Atwood that came in because it would not light on gas and run. And we got to looking at this. Look at the crack. Well, that's a problem. Got a crack in the burner assembly, which means carbon monoxide is going into the cabin. So that is not good. And that unit's an orphan. So we're going to be pricing him out a new one. That thing is, that one's done. All right, so they've got the new PVC down and they're just working right now on fixturing. But it did put a new skylight over on that one. So coming along very nicely on this one. We're working on a little 4kW Cummins generator, and this thing was like super intermittent, didn't want to run, shut off, doing kind of crazy stuff. And they got to digging around, and look what they found. Now that is the grounding strap that goes from the engine over to the solenoid, and so it obviously failed here and burned out the solenoid. So they've got a new ground strap, a new solenoid on it. It runs like a champ now. Well, the next project's here in the shop's this big Montana. And as you can see, they have the Schwintek out of the room. So in here doing some work on that because it's obviously got a problem. 4kW generator came in. Customer said it wasn't running correctly. When they took the oil cap off, it literally shot gas and oil out of this. And we found the cover had been blown off inside here. When you try to run, there's actually more pressure coming out through the air filter than there is the exhaust pipe. So this one's got a major problem, so they're going to be quoting them out a replacement genset. I don't talk much about tires here, but I'm going to tell you guys my preference of the Hercules tires made in Indonesia. These are 110-pound tires, but look at the tread depth on these. I mean, these tires are like semi-truck tires. They're just really good tires, but again, made in Indonesia, not China. And that's really one of our go-to tires as far as tires for trailers. All right, so they've got the new Schwintek in this slide. And so again, just working on getting the fascia done, because some of that stuff you can't reach without having the fascia off. But the Schwintek's in, just doing a little bit of trim out and getting this done. Right, next Winnebago in the shop is this Meridia with a 6537. Now, Mr. Lewis initially tried firing this thing up, and that outdoor fan that you just saw him pull out was bound up and had actually fried the board. So he put a new board in it and determined that motor obviously has got a problem, so it needs to come out. So obviously it's a little bit of an original motor that was in this thing, but yeah, when he puts the power to it, all it does is just make a terrible humming noise. So I'm going to dive into this and see what's going on, and troubleshoot the rest of it once we get this fan motor running correctly. That was on high. There's low. Keep it plugged up just a second. All right. So obviously, probably partially a capacitor problem. I mean, it's spinning okay, so I don't know. It may not be a capacitor, but obviously that motor's growling pretty good, so gonna be changing that one out. So we're gonna check this capacitor just to see what we got. It appears to read nothing. So 12.5 UF cap. We're gonna go ahead and put a cap in it right quick and retest the new 12.5 UF cap. We're gonna see what happens. There you go. Alrighty, gonna check it in. That was low. Sorry, the other one was low. This is low. The other one was high. But obviously it's operating now. So yeah, bad cap. Alright, so there you go. Just a bad cap on that one. Gonna update the outdoor fan bearing. Obviously we do that anyways while we're in there, because we've had so many issues with those bearings over the years. Sealed bearings, obviously the best way to resolve that. So there you go. So that's gonna finish us up here this week at Shelburne RV. And once again, there's the man.
Yes.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Did you survive all the cold weather?
Oh, yeah.
It's actually warmed up quite a bit. I was thinking it was up in the the 70s last couple of days, 60, high 60s, low 70s. So yeah, we actually had snow at the beginning of the video, and now it's back to being warm again. Of course, he's still got his jacket on because he's cold-natured from the north, you know. So there you go. So there you go. So thanks for watching. Appreciate all the comments, and I know you guys are glad to see Gary again. But he's back on the videos this week. So there you go. That'll finish us up. We'll see you next week. And as always, this video is
Gary approved.
Y'all take care. We'll see you next week.